Imagine the final 10 minutes of your life. 10 minutes as cold water creeps across the floor of your car. 10 minutes as your legs go numb, your lungs burn, and your hands strain against restraints that won't give. 10 minutes as your children scream your name and you can't save them. Now imagine someone standing on the shore, watching, recording, waiting. This is not a legend. This is not a myth. This is the story of the Holloway family. A family that vanished during a simple vacation and was found 11 years later, sealed inside their car at the bottom of a forgotten lake. Before we continue, please take a moment to tell us in the comments where you're watching from. You're part of this community. We'd love to hear from you. And remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. The town of Pine Ridge sat quietly at the edge of the high desert, a place where neighbors waved, kids rode bikes until dusk, and nothing ever really happened. Daniel Holloway, 41, worked as a systems analyst for a regional hospital network. He was methodical, calm, and known for fixing everyone's computer problems for free. His wife, Laura Holloway, 38, taught 3rd grade at Pine Ridge Elementary. Her students adored her, parents trusted her. She was the kind of teacher who stayed late to decorate her classroom. Their children were their world. Mia, 13, curious and artistic, rarely went anywhere without her digital camera. And Evan, 9, soft-spoken and shy, carried a worn stuffed fox named Copper everywhere he went. They were the kind of family people described as normal, safe, predictable, and that's what made what happened next so terrifying. In April 14, 2006, the weather was perfect. Clear skies, mild heat, no wind. The Holloways had planned a one-day trip to Redstone Canyon National Preserve, about 2 hours south of Pine Ridge. Daniel had taken the day off. Laura had arranged for a substitute. It was supposed to be a memory-making day. At 7:45 a.m., their neighbor, Helen Crawford, watched from her porch as the family loaded their dark blue 2004 Dodge Caravan. She later told police she remembered 2 things clearly: Evan hugging his stuffed fox tightly, and Laura calling out, "We'll be home late, don't wait up." The van pulled away. No one knew it would be the last time they'd ever be seen alive. Highway 62 cut through pine forests and open plateaus. The road was scenic, quiet, and lightly traveled on weekdays. At 10:18 a.m., the Holloways stopped at a gas station in Mesa Verde Junction, just outside the preserve. Security footage showed Daniel filling the tank, Laura buying bottled water and snacks, Mia filming Evan pretending the gas pump was a robot. The cashier remembered them because they were laughing, happy. Redstone Canyon was popular but not crowded that day. Park ranger Elliot Moore recalled seeing a blue minivan pull into the main overlook lot. He remembered Daniel taking photos of Laura and the kids near the canyon sign. Laura adjusted Mia's hair before the picture. It was an ordinary scene, one Ranger Moore had seen hundreds of times before. Somewhere between 11:30 a.m. and 1 p.m., the Holloway family vanished. Not just the people, the car too. The first alarm. That evening, Laura's mother, Judith Klein, expected a call. By 7:30 p.m., no one had checked in. At first, she wasn't worried. Cell service was unreliable in the canyon. But by 10:15 p.m., with both phones going straight to voicemail, her unease turned to fear. She contacted Yavapai County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Paul Whitaker, a 26-year veteran, treated it as a standard missing tourist report. Lost hikers, delayed travelers. It happened all the time. But by the next morning, everything changed. Search teams combed every trail radiating from the main overlook. No backpacks, no footprints, no dropped belongings. The parking lot log showed something impossible. The Holloway's van was not there. Surveillance cameras at park exits showed no record of the Dodge Caravan leaving the preserve. It was as if the family had evaporated. Helicopters were deployed. Drones scanned ravines. Volunteers searched forest roads. Nothing. By day 3, the FBI joined the investigation. This was no longer a missing persons case. It was a mystery. The witness. A breakthrough came from an unexpected source. A retired tourist from Oregon, Martin Hale, reviewed photos from his camera. In one image, timestamped 12:11 p.m., the Holloways could be seen in the background, standing near the overlook railing. That photo became the last confirmed image of the family alive. Another couple reported something disturbing. At around 12:25 p.m., they saw a blue minivan leaving the lot. But the driver didn't look like Daniel Holloway. The man was younger, dark hair, sunglasses, and instead of driving toward the park exit, he turned onto a restricted service road leading away from public areas. That single detail shifted the investigation forever. Detectives now faced a terrifying question. If the Holloways didn't leave on their own, who made them leave and how? When investigators accepted that the Holloway family did not simply get lost, the case took a darker turn. If someone else drove their vehicle away from Redstone Canyon, then the disappearance was no accident. It was planned. Sheriff Whitaker ordered a full reconstruction of the Holloways. Last known movements, no financial withdrawals, no ransom calls, no threats, no enemies. Daniel Holloway's bank accounts were untouched. Laura's email showed nothing unusual. Their phones, still missing, had never pinged a tower after entering the park. This ruled out robbery. It ruled out kidnapping for money. So detectives asked a more disturbing question. Why take the whole family? Detective Marissa Cole, newly transferred from Phoenix, was assigned to re-interview everyone connected to the Holloways. Friends, co-workers, parents at Laura's school, Daniel's colleagues at the hospital network. The result? Nothing. They were loved, respected, unremarkable, but buried inside the routine. Paperwork was something that hadn't been properly examined. A police report filed 3 weeks before the disappearance. On March 21, 2006, Laura Holloway had contacted Pine Ridge Police. The reason sounded minor at first. A stranger had approached her outside her children's school. He claimed to be working on a family-focused visual project. He asked if he could photograph Mia and Evan. Laura refused immediately. The man didn't argue, didn't raise his voice, but he didn't leave either. According to Laura's report, he stood there staring, long enough to make her uncomfortable. She described him as early to mid-30s, slim build, shoulder-length dark hair, wearing a faded jacket, carrying a video camera. What frightened her most wasn't what he said. It was how he looked at the children. It felt like he was studying them, she told the officer. By the time patrol arrived, the man was gone. A composite sketch was created, then quietly filed away. Detective Cole reopened that report. She sent the sketch statewide. Calls came in, but none led to an arrest. Then Cole noticed something chilling. A similar complaint had been filed 2 years earlier in a nearby town. Different woman. Same story. A man with a camera. An interest in families. No crime committed, just fear. It wasn't enough to act on, but it was enough to haunt the investigation. Search operations scaled down. Volunteers went home. Helicopters stopped flying. By summer, the Holloway disappearance faded from headlines. The case didn't close. It just stopped moving. Judith Klein did not accept silence. She organized vigil. She appeared on local news stations holding photos of Mia and Evan. She handed out flyers until people began to recognize her on the street. Her face became a symbol of unanswered grief. But years passed. No sightings, no tips, no remains. By 2009, the Holloway case was officially classified as cold. The Holloway's house was eventually repossessed. New owners moved in, unaware of the history behind its walls. Detective Cole transferred out of state. Sheriff Whitaker retired. The case sat untouched in storage until nature intervened. Arizona faced its worst drought in decades. Reservoirs shrank. Riverbeds cracked open. Water levels dropped to historic lows. One artificial lake, Dry Bone Reservoir, nearly 80 miles from Redstone Canyon, began revealing what it had hidden for years. Mudflats replaced water. Sunlight touched ground that hadn't seen it since the 1990s. And then, something metallic emerged from the earth. On August 3, 2017, a local welder named Travis Boone was walking the exposed shoreline, hoping to salvage scrap metal. That's when he saw it. A curved shape, rust-covered, half-buried, the back end of a vehicle. At first, Boone assumed it was dumped junk, until he saw the windows and what was still inside. Travis Boone stood frozen at the edge of Dry Bone Reservoir. The vehicle wasn't just abandoned, it was sealed. Mud clung to the metal like a second skin. Algae coated the windows, and through the grime, Boone saw shapes that made his stomach drop. Seats, seat belts, and something pale behind the glass. He backed away and called 911. Deputies from Yavapai County reached the scene within 30 minutes. At first, they treated it like an illegal dump, something that happened often when reservoirs were full. But when divers entered the shallow water and pried open the rear hatch, everything changed. There were 4 bodies inside, still seated, still restrained. The call went out immediately. This was a homicide scene. Sheriff Alan Brooks, who had taken office years after the Holloways vanished, personally oversaw the recovery. The van was pulled from the mud inch by inch. As it emerged, one detail became unmistakably clear. The license plate, though corroded, was still readable. The vehicle belonged to Daniel Holloway. 11 years after disappearing, the family had been found. The medical examiner, Dr. Renee Alvarez, arrived on site. What she discovered stunned even veteran officers. Yes, the family was wearing seatbelts. But that wasn't all. Each seatbelt had been reinforced with steel cable. wrapped multiple times around each body and secured with industrial-grade, locking clasps. No one inside that vehicle could have escaped. This was not an accident. This was execution. The front seats told a story of desperation. Torn upholstery, scratches on the steering wheel, fingernail gouges on the dashboard. Daniel and Laura had fought to free themselves. The back seat was worse. Evan was found clutching his stuffed fox, Copper, pressed against his chest. Mia held a folded photograph, a family Christmas photo from the previous year. The kind of picture people keep to remember happiness. How long did it take? Forensic analysts reconstructed the event based on cabin volume and seal leakage. They estimated the van took 9 to 12 minutes to fully flood. 9 to 12 minutes of terror. Parents watching their children drown. Children screaming for parents who couldn't help them. The killer didn't rush. He waited. Detective Ryan Mercer, now lead investigator, reopened the Holloway case. It was no longer a disappearance. It was a mass murder. His first question was simple. How did the van travel nearly 80 miles without being seen? The answer lay in the terrain. Back roads, abandoned service paths, routes deliberately chosen to avoid cameras. Someone had planned this. Full autopsies revealed another horrifying detail. Traces of a sedative were found in all 4 victims. Not enough to render them unconscious. Enough to make them confused. Weak, compliant. They were awake. They understood. They just couldn't stop it. Tire tracks and footprints. Near the waterline, investigators found old impressions preserved beneath dried mud. Tire tracks from a large pickup or SUV, heavy tread patterns, boot prints, men's size 11. This wasn't a quick dump. The killer stayed, watched, documented. Judith Klein, now in her 70s, was called to identify the remains. Afterward, she sat with Detective Mercer. That's when she remembered something she hadn't mentioned in years. A conversation with Laura, weeks before the trip. Laura had said a man followed her and the kids in a public park, filming them. At the time, it felt unsettling, but harmless. Now, it sounded like a warning no one understood. Detectives searched the shoreline again, slowly, deliberately. Metal detectors swept through brush and mud. On the 3rd day, they found it, half buried in reeds. A damaged handheld video camera. Old, waterlogged, still holding a tape. The video camera was older than most of the officers on scene. A compact handheld model from the early 2000s. Its casing was cracked, the lens scratched, mud packed into every seam. But inside, there was still a tape. The camera was sent to a specialized digital forensics lab in Phoenix. Technicians warned Detective Mercer not to expect much. Years underwater usually erased everything. Still, they tried. 3 days later, Mercer received a call at 2:17 a.m. "You need to come here," the technician said, "and you need to bring a psychologist." The video began with static. Then an image slowly emerged, a wide shot of dry bone reservoir, taken from the shore. The date stamp read. The camera was steady, mounted on something solid. Then, movement. A blue Dodge Caravan rolled into frame. Inside, silhouettes were visible. The van crept forward and entered the water. The camera never moved. For nearly 12 minutes, it recorded everything. Muffled screams, hands striking glass, children crying. A calm male voice could occasionally be heard off camera. Quiet, detached, almost curious. No panic, no shouting, just observation. When the van finally disappeared beneath the surface, the recording continued. For another full minute, a killer who documented. FBI behavioral analyst Dr. Elaine Porter reviewed the footage. Her conclusion was immediate. This wasn't about killing, she said. This was about witnessing. The killer didn't want chaos. He wanted control and proof. Detective Mercer requested similar cases nationwide. Cars found in water, unexplained drownings, victims restrained. The database returned 9 possible matches across 4 states. Most were unsolved. One detail linked them all. No witnesses, no suspects, no reason. Cybercrime units joined the case. They searched underground, forums and encrypted communities, known for extreme content. Weeks passed. Then, a breakthrough. A private forum user named Stillwater had been uploading videos. The clips were grainy, silent, disturbing, vehicles sinking. People inside, the same angle, the same patience. Stillwater was careful. VPNs, proxy servers, encryption. But no one is perfect. After weeks of monitoring, analysts traced a recurring digital signature to a region near Red Mesa, Arizona. A small town, few residents, few secrets. Investigators cross-referenced. Male residents aged 30-50, owners of large trucks, people with video or photography backgrounds. One name stood out. Ethan Crow, age 39. freelance videographer, owned a dark red Ford F-150 with off-road tires, lived alone, no criminal record. Crow's background raised alarms. His mother had died by drowning when he was a teenager. He discovered the body. Friends described him as quiet, detached, obsessive about filming. Dr. Porter didn't hesitate. This fits perfectly. Surveillance teams monitored Crow for weeks. They noted his routines, early morning hikes, long solo drives, frequent visits to scenic overlooks, and one disturbing habit: he filmed families, always from a distance. On November 18, 2017, Crow was observed loading boxes into his truck at 1:40 a.m. Detective Mercer made the call. They followed. Crow drove toward an abandoned quarry, a place no one would notice. The quarry was silent. No lights, no traffic, no witnesses. When Ethan Crow stepped out of his truck and began unloading the boxes, red and blue lights flooded the darkness. Sheriff's units surrounded him in seconds. Crow ran. He didn't get far. Crow was taken into custody without a weapon, without resistance once tackled, and without emotion. Inside the boxes he had been preparing to dump, officers found dozens of mini-DV tapes, external hard drives, handwritten journals, camera equipment stained with dried mud. That was enough. He was arrested for destruction of potential evidence. It bought investigators 48 hours, and that was all they needed. A search warrant was executed the same morning. What investigators found inside Crow's home changed everyone involved forever. The living room had been converted into an archive. Shelves lined with numbered videotapes, each marked with dates and locations. Hard drives labeled by state. Photographs of families pinned to corkboards, annotated with notes. Maps covered the walls: Arizona, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico. Red circles marked bodies of water. Downstairs was worse, a full video editing suite. High-end equipment, monitors, audio mixers. Crow wasn't just filming, he was curating the footage no one wanted to watch. Forensic teams cataloged over 15 years of recordings. At least 9 confirmed murders. Always the same method: sedative-laced drinks, trust, restraints, water, and always, the full recording of the Holloway family's murder was there, unedited, complete. It showed Crow approaching Daniel at the canyon overlook, offering bottled water for the kids. 20 minutes later, the family could barely stand. Why them? Crow's journals provided the answer. He believed families represented maximum emotional truth. Children, parents, fear. He wrote, "The water strips away the performance. What's left is real." Court-ordered psychiatrists diagnosed Crow with severe antisocial personality disorder with sadistic traits. He was fully aware, fully capable, and fully responsible. The trial began in March 2018. The evidence was overwhelming. Videos, DNA, digital trails. Crow never denied it. When asked why, he answered calmly, "I wanted to see what people are when there's nothing left to hide." The courtroom erupted. Judith Klein addressed the court. She looked directly at Crow. She said she forgave him, not for his sake, but to free herself from hatred. Then she asked the judge to ensure he never harmed another family. The jury deliberated for less than 3 hours. Ethan Crow was found guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to 9 consecutive life sentences without parole. Crow remains in maximum security. He refuses treatment, shows no remorse. Drybone Reservoir has since refilled. Locals avoid it. A memorial plaque now stands at the shore. 4 names, 1 family. The Holloways left home for a simple day trip. They never returned, but the truth did, hidden for 11 years beneath water and silence. It surfaced, and justice followed.